What is up, guys, and welcome to episode 14 of the Road to Revival series. Now, thank you all for the support on this series so far. It's been absolutely amazing, and I did actually upload a hybrid scribbler this morning, which I did actually promote this series quite a lot in. The reason for being is that I feel like this series should, you know, well, I don't know. I personally think a lot more people from my channel will kind of enjoy this series than the ones that already do. For my hybrid scribblers, I usually get around 15,000 views, whereas for this Road to Revival, I get around, 7,000 to 8,000 views. Now, this isn't a way for me trying to be greedy or anything with my views, and me being iffy about me, like not wanting to do this series anymore because it doesn't get many views. It gets, a fair amount of views, and 8,000 people is a lot of people that are going to be watching one video of mine, but I kind of feel like a lot more people would be interested in this series. I just, sort of pitched it to everyone in that hybrid scribbler just because, I feel like this is probably one of my most favourite series to do, and I think this series is probably one of my most complimented series as well, from the feedback that I've been getting from you guys. So I thought, why not see if anyone else would sort of enjoy this series, and here we go. This is the series that I'm doing, blah 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 blah, and here we go. So this is all there where I was just talking over that little segment there. We did actually send everyone to the trade pile from the team that we actually won Division 1 with. It was a 3-5-2 like little hybrid with a couple of German players, Liga BBVA. So that was pretty cool. We did actually sell that team for about 25,000 coins, and then we did actually buy this team that is on the screen right now. It includes Rosnay, Anderson, Rafael, Benitez, Bravo, Valencia, some really good players, and this is going to be sort of some of the gameplay that I'm going to be showing you guys now. In the hybrid scribbler that I did actually upload earlier today, I promised you guys that I would show some gameplay from this team in this Road to Revival, and you probably can expect some more gameplay of that team in episodes to come, mainly due to the fact that I kind of keep a team for around, 10 games or so, and in this episode there's going to be about 3 or 4 games worth of footage for you guys to see of me using this team in every single goal that I do score and every single scoreline. So, and see here, in the first game that I did actually play this team, Valencia there in the 31st minute, goes through on goal, completely just runs from the halfway line, skips past the keeper, and gets in a really nice goal. And then Benitez here, a lovely clinical finish into the top left hand corner in the 63rd minute to make it 2-0 to us. And then I believe we do actually get another one, and see here, I think that's Valencia this time, and he just slots home into the top left hand corner again, pretty much identical to Benitez's goal, maybe a bit more further right on the pitch. And then this was the final goal. Benitez here just sort of snubs it from the defender and then chips it over to Valencia, first time volley in the left bottom left hand corner. So that was in the 90th minute, and that is actually how the game finished. Pretty good stuff, 4-0 for our first match. And we did actually get a little message from this guy that we played, and he said, "Well played, mate, you're good." So that's pretty nice to see. Usually when you beat people like 4-0 or something on FIFA, usually get some hate message saying they're going to hunt you down and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to see someone with a little bit of respect, and I do respect that guy for doing that, because it is very, not very often you get them kind of messages. It's kind of once in a blue moon that you get someone, being actually, respectful of someone who they, has just beaten them. I personally have, sent a few messages like that in the past, but I personally don't do it like every time I lose, because like I'm kind of like really raging. So respect to that guy, I do appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the second match now. We do actually play this guy with a pretty much identical Arsenal account. He has an Arsenal kit, Arsenal badge. Arsenal has this like 3, I don't know what it's called, like the short abbreviation for the squad. He's got every single Arsenal player in that team. Obviously there's others, but they're probably on the bench. But we do actually open the scoring here straight away with Benitez. Well, it's not actually Benitez, it's going to be Anderson. Benitez has the shot, and then it rebounds off, and Anderson heads that in. And then here again, we do actually try and score with this little sort of like overhead kick and then scissors kick. But then it did actually go wide, which was pretty annoying, because that would have been a pretty good goal. And then Bravo here with a lovely little chip over to Benitez, who actually chests it, first time volley, and then that didn't go in. And then Koscielny there, I think, tries to actually header it back in, but it goes straight into Benitez's path, and we slot it home into the bottom left hand corner. And then he does actually get a little equaliser here, well, not really an equaliser, it's sort of like a consolation goal. And then Garud in 24th minute to make it 2-1. And then for some reason my defender here, Pereira, I think that was Fareoh anyway. It might have been Raphael, but it was just awful defending. He kind of just flopped as soon as Arshavin went at him, and Arshavin's not very big, so I didn't really expect that from him. But that made it 2-2, and it wasn't like that for long. Benitez there in the 32nd minute made with a really lovely finish into the bottom left-hand corner. And then Bravo here with a lovely little sort of turn round, you know, absolutely skips past Mertesacker because he has like 29 pace and Bravo has like, what, 92, 93 pace, which was, you know, pretty insane. But that makes it 4-2, and then a lovely goal here. I did actually upload these two goals last night that you're about to see. Bravo there in the 52nd minute to make it, I think that's 5-2 now. I'm going to do actually fast forward this gameplay just because I do actually score 2 goals in really quick concession. Bravo here again with a lovely little bicycle kick, not a bicycle kick, rainbow flick. I think I called it like that earlier, and that was completely wrong. But yeah, that was a really nice goal. He does actually, you know, after the rainbow flick, he kind of like controls it with his feet while still volleying it, and then a little header into the back of the net. But after that goal, that guy did rage quit, unfortunately, but still Bravo did actually get a hat-trick, and we gained 611 coins from that match. Now that was pretty cool. No, I'm not too annoyed about that because, you know, we do actually get quite a few coins. I would have liked to beat him quite a few more goals. You know, maybe slot home maybe 8 past him or even 10. That probably would have been pretty entertaining. But we actually go into another match here against this guy with a pretty weird team name. His team name is actually Potheads, so I kind of did think I was going to come up against some guy that was going to be blazed out his mind, and he wouldn't have a clue about playing FIFA. But I was actually kind of wrong. He was a pretty good player, I'm not going to lie. You know, his one which was kind of, you know, pretty good at attacking and stuff like that and defending. But as see here with a really nice bit of skill there from Bravo. He does like a sort of stops, then a little roulette, and then like step over, and then crosses it home into Benitez's path, who slots it home into the bottom left hand corner. Really nice goal there. I was actually pretty pleased with that goal. And then Ozil here in the 45th minute actually equalises for him. You know, I don't know what it is about 45th minute and 90th minute goals. It kind of, you know, there seem to be too many in my opinion. But we do actually make it 2-1 here with the Valencia. He does actually do a little sort of back heel into Gonzalez's path, and then he slots it home into the bottom right hand corner. And then Falcao here, a lovely little bit of, you know, sort of controlled dribbling, and slots it home in the 62nd minute into the bottom left hand corner. And then David Villa here just comes through my defence, you know, completely splits it in two and slots home into the bottom right hand corner, and that's how the game finished. We lost 3-2, pretty disappointing, so we are actually eliminated from the Gold Cup, but we will actually try and beat every single team in the tournament next episode. So hopefully next episode, if I have actually won the tournament, you guys will be able to see that. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. If you have enjoyed this series and how it's sort of been, you know, sort of implemented into the Hybrid Squad Builder series, then let me know in the comment section below. It'd be good to hear your opinions on that. Thanks for watching, guys. The looks will be absolutely amazing, and peace.